Alrighty guys, welcome back to the channel, and it's a new video, new project. This is a 2012 Polaris Ranger 800 6-seater. A lot of words there, but it needs some love, and that's what this episode is going to be all about, is getting this thing back up to 100% and enjoying it with the family. So if you guys are interested, check it out. All right, so it's actually in pretty good shape. So seats are actually pretty good. Come with a stereo back there, light bars up there, a couple little neat things here and there, some decent wheels on it. I actually really like the thing. It's got a cool stance to it. I think it's got maybe like a 4 to 6 inch lift on it. However, I'm pretty sure the top end's about to explode, and the rear differential did explode, if you can see the holes right there. So it used to just have one hole, and then I drove it a little bit, and now it has 2 holes. So we probably need to stop driving it and tear into this transmission and see exactly what I got to do to fix it. So first things first is really ripping this whole back end apart, and let's get the transmission out of this thing. Well, like 5 minutes into it, I realized why the top end sounds like crap. This is the intake tube. So it's been sucking in dust for an unknown amount of years or time. So yeah, that'll do it every time. So we'll get a new intake on order, or intake boot or duct or whatever you want to call this. But that is definitely why it no run good. So we'll have to check the valves and all that other stuff on there, but yeah, that's easy stuff. Biggest thing is to try to fix a giant hole in the transmission, then we'll worry about top end. I already ordered a REV6 top end rebuild kit, so it comes with new cylinder, pistons, whatever else involves the top end cylinder stuff. That is what this is. So we'll worry about that later. However, let's continue our journey, get a new one of these on order, and try to get this transmission out. Alrighty, it's out. Now I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never done this before, but it's just bolts holding it in. I have had Polarises before, so I didn't know I needed a puller, so I got that prior to this project. Engine's kind of weird. It basically mounts and is supported by the transmission mount too, so a little strange how that's in there, but there it is. It's out. I need to clear a spot over here, and we'll start opening up this case to see what exactly failed. I'm pretty sure it's the turf, whatever it's called, turf mode. The little spider gears in there. Somewhere around here there's a piece of it. But and then we'll see if we can weld up that case, and then put it all back together and see what happens. Oh yeah, probably want new bearings and seals and all that stuff. So let's get that open. Alrighty, here's carnage. A bunch of pieces in there. This plate, I think, goes to the back of this piece. No, not that piece. One of the pieces in there, it's all snapped off and broken, so obviously that's no good. This side of the case is looking really good, so that's alright. I gotta figure out a way to get all this out, which I'll probably have to do some research via YouTube, or maybe some forums or something, to see how I disassemble this portion. And then, yeah, we're pretty much just on cleaning phase and wait for some parts to arrive. Alrighty, so we're back out here in the shop. It's been a little while, probably about a week or two. I actually have all the parts pretty much needed in that box to start putting this thing back together. So we need to continue tearing this thing down so that way we can start working on reassembly. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to battle this out. This is basically just bearings holding this stuff in. This should come out with just a little bit of wobbling and wiggling and hitting and prying. But she should come out of there. Alright, so the next thing up is going to be to repair this thing. Basically just going to cut out a piece of aluminum and weld it back in here. This doesn't do anything really structurally besides keep oil in. So we're going to get the welder out and try to weld this up. If it doesn't work, we're going to go with the old JB weld or something. So we'll get this attempted and then go from there. Basically better than new. Just has to keep in fluid. I didn't do anything to the inside, but I shouldn't have to. Sweet. So let's get some seals put in this thing and start reassembly. Alrighty, so this has been rebuilt. Little needle bearings or whatever have been done. All these bearings are done. So that's good to go. All these pieces have been cleaned up. We got the HD
can't remember what they're called. HD something. That's their spool or turf mode delete kit. So we got that. Oh, hold on. HD Extreme Off-Road. We have their little turf delete kit in there. This is all good to go. I had to obviously order a new side. This is all new on this side because mine was shattered. Let's see here. Shift fork's been cleaned up. Everything else is pretty much ready to rock and roll. So this has got new bearings on it, and it's been cleaned up and ready to go. So I think I'm just going to slap some assembly lube on some of this stuff and start putting it in this half. So this is the one that goes together first. I don't know how to do the snorkel gear yet. I've never done that, so I'll have to read up on how to add preload on that. But let's go ahead and at least try to get the main, this one in with the transmission parts. That's the reverse chain and all that other stuff. So let's try to get that in with this into there. Okay, I think we are finally ready to put the halves together. Pretty positive I have everything in there. And clean these two surfaces up. We're just going to RTV over the mud daubers. Don't worry about that. And stick these two pieces together. And then continue the rebuild on the outside. We still have like the shifter stuff to put together. These are just shims on the input to the transmission. So, and then these are parts to our turf mode, which we are no longer using. So let's go ahead and clean this up and RTV it together. Alright, well, I'm pretty sure it is ready to go back in the Ranger. So, just go ahead and do that. I kind of ops checked it on the bench, just shifting through all the gears on here. There's only 4 gears, so not much stuff, not super exciting, but we can go ahead and put this thing back in and fill her up with some fluid and see what happens. Alrighty guys, before I get too far back into reassembly, I do want to do a top end on this thing. So I think the next thing to do is really just start tearing down the top end of this thing. As for the transmission, I mean, we're in. We got all the suspension tightened back up and installed, all the bolts installed. Yeah, pretty much. I'm waiting on some brake pads for the parking brake rotor, or whatever you want to call this. Mine are pretty shot, so I got new ones of those coming. But before you start putting in, you know, the braces and the airbox and the exhaust, the top end's got to come off. So that's what we're going to do next, is rip into this top end, and hopefully that goes as smooth as this went. So I don't even know if this works yet, but I got faith. So let's move on to the top end. Alrighty, there is the pistons. This one you can see still has a little bit of the coating on there, and I didn't measure anything. I already have a new cylinder and pistons anyways, but this one has no coating left, and this is some pretty deep gouges on there. So I'm assuming this is the one that's making all the racket, and it's been chewing on, you know, dust for a while now. So we'll go ahead and swap pistons out, put a new cylinder on, and then probably clean up that head a little bit. It's definitely got stalactites in there from all the dirt and debris it's been sucking in. So we'll do that. And the bottom end feels really good. I've already kind of, like, you know, played with each of the connecting rods, and there's no play down below, so everything else feels pretty good. We will just go ahead and swap all this stuff out and call it a day. So that's what's up. Alrighty guys, so this is the REV6 top end kit. I didn't know it came with, you know, new valve seats and new valves. So that's pretty sweet. I'll have to disassemble those later. Right now I'm going to put the pistons in and get the cylinder on, and then I'll mess with the head after that, because I'm kind of running out of room, making a big old mess everywhere. So let's put some rings on and see if we can't put one of these in without losing a wrist pin clip.
Alright, that was actually really easy. It's just a little difficult because there's two pistons in line with each other. You know, they're on the same place in the crank, so you got to fight them both at the same time, feeding them in. But no, all went together pretty good. Let's go work on that head. Alright, look at that. It's basically new. Even did some lapping compound to make sure the valves were seated nicely. Those are good to go. Made this little cool tool. Version 2. The first one wasn't really working, but that worked pretty good. And now it's time to put the head on. So, we get the head gasket, can't forget that. And then we'll go ahead and start putting in some bolts and go from there. Alright, I'm a little torn here. So this, you know, lifter, see they all have like a little bit of spring to them and fluid in them. That one's got just compression against it, but you should be able to move them all. This one is not doing what it's supposed to. So I'm a little worried that the head has to come back off, the cylinder has to come off. But I just think the head has to come off. I think if you take the head off, you can get those lifters out of there. But, or we just add a bunch of oil pressure to it and it just starts working like it's supposed to. But I'm not sure what I want to do. I almost want to just start it with no coolant in it, maybe. Just to see if this rocker starts participating, but I don't really know. It's just you're already here. Should have just done the damn lifters from the get-go. Alrighty guys, so after contemplating it last night, I'm just going to I'm going to be replacing the lifter and the cam. So if you can see, this is the lifter. It's all rounded out and ground down, and the cam doesn't look terrible, but it's one of those things, if I'm doing it once, I might as well do it right. So I'm going to be replacing the cam and all new lifters, and then we can put this thing back together. So I'm not quite sure if I want to try to fight it and do it while it's in the Polaris, or if I want to take it out and do it on the bench. So I might try to do it in here, which is probably what I think I'll do, is try to replace it in here, and then we'll put it all back together. So kind of a buzzkill, didn't want to do that, but let's just do it right. And since this is all ground down, the cam lobe is kind of rounded, which means it's just going to prematurely wear the next lifter out and could be turning into something worse. So let's just do it right and replace all of them. All right, what are you doing?
I'm I'm cleaning the side of the Ranger.
Yeah, let me see.
Mom's finished. You can look on this side if you
Why
want
don't you
to.
spray the spray on there?
Alright, real quick, I really don't teach a lot in these videos, but I did. This is kind of hard to understand, but there is a timing mark here on the crank, and then there's a timing mark on whatever this gear is, whatever you do. I think this is a counterbalance. So timing mark, and then timing mark and timing mark. So that's how you know it's all in time, and the oil pump, it doesn't care where it's at, it just is an oil pump. So and then this gear right here it's 2 gears in one, and it's sprung loaded, whatever you want to call it, so it shifts. So in order to keep it from shifting, I put a pin in it. This is just a 5/16 bolt, and put a pin in it, and that should work, and I should just be able to pull these all off now and hopefully get to that cam.
Alrighty, cam is out. This is the one that's all stupid. You can see it's rounded like crazy. Very worn out, which is gonna affect timing quite a bit. So I'm glad I did it. I almost just got lazy and just slapped everything back together and just hope for the best, but that thing has got some serious amount of lift taken off of it. You can almost see this is level with this part is basically the roller part of it. It's almost level with it, and you go to this side pretty far down from it, so it's got a couple 100 thousandths taken off of it for sure, and it's not flat. So I got a REV6 cam coming, all new lifters, all new seals, and we'll slap all this stuff back together and we'll finally take this thing for a ride.
Alrighty guys, waited about another week for some parts. These are the parts I ordered through REV6. This is like a full engine rebuild gasket kit. I just need a couple more gaskets added to that. Plus, we got a new head gasket in there since I already crushed mine. The best thing to do is to put a new one in there. So got that. All the rest of the gaskets and seals I'll need. New cam in here. We'll douse that in oil before we pop it in. Lifters are already kind of marinating. A couple of them are dropping bubbles out of there. You can see them start coming up. Wow. Yep. So anyways, that's doing that. Head's ready to go on. I still gotta clean up some of this gasket material on here. Get this all prepped and ready. And then we can start shoving new seals in this. Put the cam back in and get ready for those lifters to be popped in and the head to go back together and the rest of the stuff to go back together. So let's get started. Okie dokie, got this all cleaned up. Just use a Scotch-Brite on the outside, pre-grease some of these bushings. This seal, I think I'm gonna replace that one. I haven't replaced this one yet. I did replace this one over here. That's a new one, greased it. Yeah, everything's cleaned up. So I gotta clean the engine side. I haven't scraped all that off yet and prepped all that. Probably want to clean that grime off up there too a little bit. And then we'll get this cam slid in, start putting all the timing gear set back, and we're moving right along. Alrighty, this was difficult to kind of get the counterbalance to stop spinning because it's trying to spin in there because the counterbalance, you know, it's weighted on one side. So it was tricky to get this gear onto this keyway without having the keyway move, onto the crank and having this mark line up. So there's a mark there and a mark there, have that line up, and a mark there and a mark there, have that line up. So other than that, it's pretty easy to put in timing. There's no timing chain or anything like that, all gear driven. So let's continue the rest of this assembly, and let's get this thing started today. Alrighty, I think it's ready to try to start. Hopefully it just fires right up, but I think I got everything connected. Checked over everything pretty good. Got the parking brake on, intake's on. Just hooked up the battery. Get some fuel. Fuel pump kicked on. Well, it's got oil in it. Should have everything it needs. Let's see what happens. Fire in the hole. Nothing. Ready or wrong. Oh, almost. Come on, baby.
Crap, does that sound good? Open the garage up there. Got one little rattle. I'm not real sure what that is, but for the most part, this thing is running great. Almost sounds like that rattles clutches. Like there's a little play in the clutches or something. Okay, need to top off coolant. Check that, make sure we don't have any air bubbles in the engine, and then kind of go from there. Doing pretty good. Well, I think the next thing to do is see if this thing moves. So we'll see if it runs and drives, how it does, check the coolant when we get back. I guess that's pretty much it. We're not done even close. I gotta figure out, this windshield's driving me nuts. I don't know why it cuts half your visibility in half. And then we got wiring to do, some other upgrades, stuff like that. But for right now, let's take it on a test drive. Really quiet. Try high range. Alrighty, we're looking pretty good in here. Just kind of, I wouldn't say cleaned it up, but cleaned it up. And something I need to add on here is a winch. The winch on ours is pretty archaic maybe, or just lame. I'm not really sure how to classify it, but we got the old X-Bull 5K. Let's get this thing mounted up. Here is the old one. So
yeah, not much to this little bad boy. Tear this thing off. Wiring also needs to be redone. It's for a later date, I think. I'll worry about that another time. But for right now, let's get this winch switched out and go from there. Well, unfortunately, this thing looks like it got roughed up. It's got cracks here, crack there. Looked like this corner got crushed real bad in shipping. I'm still gonna hook it all up, see what happens. Hopefully it all powers up and works. And then I send an email out to Expo. Hopefully they can just send me a replacement of this. So we'll see what happens. I'll still hook it up and hope for the best. Alrighty, well it works. So that's the wireless remote, and this isn't gonna work because I don't have this red wire hooked up right now, but that's just the in and out on the dash thing, which I'll probably splice into this and use my own switch. But yeah, that's that. So still works. I might just fill up these corner cracks with RTV and then send it. I did reach out to the company. I think I said that already. I did reach out to the company for a new one. Hopefully they can hook me up. But for now, this is all working. I think that might be a little cracked too. Dang. Even the remote got cracked. But it's working now. We'll continue to use it. All right. Been taking it on a couple cruises around the neighborhood already. We got the winch mounted up on there. It's looking good, works great. Fixed some of the roof bracketry up there. Mounted a baby seat. Just basically put some holes here that the clips hold on to. This bad boy is child friendly. Bam! So that's on there. Pretty much ready to rock and roll. I think we're gonna bring it to the property this weekend and see how she does. Alrighty guys, so after having this thing at the property all weekend, it did flawless. We don't have really any complaints. We're just chucking in some boxes into our fireplace up front, or fire pit I should say. It's just really awesome just to be able to chuck anything you want in the back of this thing. So it's really nice. We got the Terex out there. It needed a track adjuster. I'm working on that right now. And then all these trails that you see are stuff that we put in. There was no trails whatsoever here when we first got this land. So pretty neat to be able to clear a bunch of it and work on it and use the Ranger as, you know, a big tool mover and chuck the chainsaws in the back of it and everything. Just super cool. So No complaints about the old Ranger. Pretty pumped to have it. Alrighty guys, we are back from our trip up at our property. If you're new to the channel or we haven't really mentioned it a whole lot, but we did pick up about 20 acres. We bought 20 acres just for a family compound. Nothing, we're not building on or anything like that. Just some RV spots, room to play with some toys, and just kind of grow with the family. So we're really pumped about it, and this is just another tool in our arsenal. We did get rid of our Wrangler, 4-door Wrangler, to kind of get a whole bunch of just toys. Lots of toys, including this. I just picked up this bad boy too. This is 300 bucks, $300 marketplace find. Blazer 125, just put a battery in it and a carburetor and it started right up. So super pumped about that thing. And look at the tires. I mean, these are original. That is nice. So real pumped about that. If you're new to the channel, or if you haven't seen it, we have a smashed Avalanche right there, and we got a Tahoe. I bought both of these. I paid $1,500 for the Avalanche. I paid $1,500 for the Tahoe. We're gonna be using all the Tahoe pieces, put on the Avalanche, and then we'll have a good truck to use up at the property. I'm just gonna leave it up there and just use it as a daily and all that other stuff. And then the Tahoe supposedly has a 6.0 in it. I haven't verified that yet, but the guy said the previous owner swapped a 6.0 into it, and it's had some shop do it all, so, but it is knocking. So the guy bought it for 2,500 bucks. The guy said it was smoking, and then the guy drove it a bunch, and now it's knocking. So basically just went downhill, and now I have it. This beautiful collection of vehicles. So we're gonna put all the parts from the Tahoe on that, scrap the Tahoe after I get the 6.0 out of it, and probably the transmission, do all it, I don't know, whatever other parts that I'm gonna scrap out on it. But anyways, that's another episode. Right now, guys, this freaking Ranger did fantastic. We had an absolute blast in it. It's basically a mini truck, so we got some upgrade. We still have some more parts that just came in. That's a skid plate, it needs to go back on there. We got new center lap belts. Those are broken, kind of weird. This is just cool. I mean, like, are you kidding me? That's sweet. Speaker did awesome. Truck bed on this thing, so we just tossed a bunch of stuff on it, drive around the property. I mean, what more can you ask for? Just put some new cables on here because they're all snapped and broken, but tailgate works awesome. Pretty pumped about that. Transmission did fantastic. I mean, everything did. 4 low, 4 high. Well, I have a leak. Did not know that, so I'm gonna have to look for coolant. Hopefully that's just out of one of the hoses. Time will tell. I'll have to find that later. However, back up here. Transmission held up good. Engine is super quiet, runs fantastic. Yeah, literally no complaints, guys. Winch did good. X-Bull did get in contact with me after that piece was broken when it arrived. They said they wouldn't warranty it because I bought it through Amazon and it's out of the Amazon warranty and it was shipped through Amazon, so that's kind of annoying. They just told me I had to buy a new one. However, I beat the ever-living crap out of it this weekend, and it did really well. So we ended up breaking the line like 3 times trying to get the tracks back on the excavator. No fault of it. I was abusing the crap out of it. But honestly, X-Bull, the winch, is a super affordable winch, and it worked really good. And it's got that wireless remote. So, yeah, I mean, what more could you ask for? This is like the perfect utility vehicle for the property. So that is gonna wrap up this video, guys. Ranger, it's a A+ for us. We picked it up for 4,500 bucks off Marketplace. I think I have about 2,000 into it to include a new windshield. This windshield is just garbage. So we got like a nice, just flat one that goes across the front. We got that coming, and I think just a couple bushings here and there, but other than that, I think she's pretty much ready to load back up on the trailer and head out. So, please, I'm trying to hit 5,000 subscribers this year. If you could, subscribe. Just takes a second. That's all I ask. And we'll catch you on another episode. Appreciate it, guys. Bye.